go.
Good.
Place. Hey guys, Ken with Tags Canine. I've been doing some quick videos on muzzle conditioning and how to size the muzzle and sort of get your dog used to doing multiple commands while doing the muzzle. But one of the things that I want to just touch base really quick on is control. And what I mean by that is have protocols in place. If you have to use a muzzle because you feel the need to, learn how to put the tool on properly, but moreover, understand the reason why you're putting on that tool. Tool is to prevent the dog from biting or definitely limiting it should you feel the need to necessarily have the need for it. But one of the things that I do is I always maintain control of the dog whenever I'm handling a dog, especially a dog that has a bite history. If they can, they will, okay? If they have the desire, they will. And doesn't mean that, that they're going to, but if they have the desire to bite you, they will, regardless of the consequences. So when using, especially when we're talking about muzzles, guys, when we're using muzzles, there's a reason for it. So in the conditioning process, I gave you a bunch of tips. But more importantly, I wanted to talk about two other tools that I use whenever I'm working with a dog like this, okay? Doesn't mean he's a bad dog, but it means he can make some poor choices. And if he's making poor choices because he's over-adrenalized, overstimulated, overexcited, you know, there's a myriad of reasons why the dog's going to bite, but if he has the desire, he will. And so one of the things that I always recommend is always maintain control when you're working with the animal. Now, the first thing I have on him is what's called the dominant dog collar. This dominant dog collar is just really kind of like a choke chain. It's meant to sit tight, it's meant to sit high up. This one kind of looped down, it's been stretched out, it's been on him for a while, and he's lost a little weight here because he gets his exercise and we watch his calories and all that good stuff. But the dominant dog collar is meant to be tied up, and then I always recommend just have a drag leash, an old leash, just something that you can always maintain control when working with the dog. And look, if you are concerned and you are implementing this tool, there is a reason. So assume the worst and be prepared. And one of those ways to be prepared is always have a dominant dog collar on him, and then you know, have a drag leash or something like that on the dog so that you can always maintain control. A drag leash doesn't have to be 20 feet long. If you're going to use a long leash or an old leash, just cut the handle off so it doesn't catch on anything. But more importantly, guys, you'll see me every time I'm dealing with Ronan or I'm working with him, I've always got control. Because if he makes a stupid decision, I can help prevent him or help guide him in making the right decision, or at least preventing myself from getting hurt. So just some tips, be prepared. That's, I guess, more than anything else, is just assume, you know, that if you're considering using tools like that, like a muzzle, or you have the need for the dominant dog collar because you need to have a stronger control over a dog, then not only do I encourage you to make sure that you seek out professional training, but more importantly, in your interactions with the dog, keep the stimulation down. Don't get them overexcited. And then whenever you are handling the dog, and this is with actually any dog, always maintain control. You know, dogs that like to jump on you, you can just take your thumb, slide it underneath the collar as he lunges towards you. You can just hold him back and correct him and just tell him no. You certainly have that ability. And then, of course, if he's getting out of control, you can just step on the drag leash. And then, you know, in the worst case scenario, he goes after another dog or he bites somebody and he's latched on, you've got control. And all you have to do is apply some steady pressure. Eventually it's going to cut off the dog's airways, and for that quick brief second, he's going to release his grasp of whatever he has, and then you can just slowly, calmly remove him from the situation. Then do the assessments, but keep your excitability as calm as can be. And then that way you'll see through. You typically will find that the consequences aren't always as drastic as they might have been otherwise. If you're losing your mind and you're trying to pull out of that dog's mouth at the same time it's locked onto something, a lot more damage happens that way than any other way. So just some tips of control when dealing with a dog that you are muzzle conditioning and training. Remember, guys, if they can, they will. If they have the desire, he will, or they will. Okay? Conan's coming along pretty good, meathead. He's a good boy, just makes poor choices, so we're helping him make better choices. Thanks a lot, guys, and thanks for choosing Tags K9. Come on, meathead, let's go. Yes. Wait.